So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Caitriona Power, who is the Education and Outreach Manager for the Circular Economy from Munster Technological University. And we look forward to your presentation, Caitriona, and as around 10 minutes, I'll put up my hand, a little wave, just to give you an idea where you're at that stage in respective time. Gur míle Margaidh, tasúlam go bhain sib sulta seo.
Sinead, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen now. So I think, Sinead, you just have to cancel yours and then I can share mine. Thank you. And hi, everybody. I'm really happy to be here today. If you select stop sharing, Sinead, and then I can go into share.
Stop sharing.
Oh, should be along the top.
Okay, record. I can see pause sharing. I can see, oh, stop sharing. Okay, there you go. Gur Margaidh, thanks, Caitriona. Every day is a school day.
We're in a new world. Okay. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for the invite to join the session today. I'm really happy to share with you what the Circular Bioeconomy Cluster Southwest is. We're a new initiative, part of Munster Technological University, and you may know that MTU, Munster Technological University, is a new entity. It's a combined entity of both IT3 and CIT, Cork, sorry. And so what is the cluster? So the cluster promotes and develops the circular bioeconomy in South and West Ireland with an emphasis on marine and waste to value themes. It's a new initiative. I've been in the role for almost 2 months now, and it's really exciting because there's a lot of momentum, there's a lot of activity going on around circular bioeconomy in the region. The cluster is Enterprise Ireland supported for the next 3 years. And so I guess before I begin, I'll do a little bit of deep dive into what is the circular bioeconomy. Well, it's the production and the utilization of renewable biological resources and waste stream residues like food waste or byproducts into value-added products like food, feed, bio-based products and bioenergy as well. So for example, you could think of how would you use renewable materials to be able to create maybe bioplastics, biodegradable plastics, or even how to utilize seaweed to be able to make cosmetic products and things like that. That's very much the type of bioproducts that we're talking about. It's a $7.7 trillion market globally by 2030. And also in the European bioeconomy strategy, we can see that they're talking about there's expected to be 1 million jobs across Europe. So it's a growing sector. And we see this reflected in the trends that are currently ongoing. So for example, there's a lot of policy and regulations coming in at the Irish and also at the European level. So for example, in Ireland, there's the Waste Action Plan for a Circular Economy, there's the Climate Plans, there's also the National Bioeconomy Statement, and all these are providing the guidance to industry and to SMEs on how to develop solutions and new sorts of innovations for the bioeconomy. And as a result of all these regulations at the European and national level as well, we're seeing brands change because there's increasing consumer demand for sustainable products that are price competitive and also meet a need. And so, for example, you see big brands like L'Oreal or Nestle looking at their packaging, but also looking at their products. You see there's a German brand called Vod who looks at like how to create sustainable textiles, and sell those. And IKEA as well, they're very much engaged in the circular aspect of this type of new economy. And with the brand engagement, with consumers, with policy comes the investors. And so what we're seeing now is dedicated funds set up to be able to invest in new technologies and companies and projects across the world. And so there's the European Circular Bioeconomy Fund, there's the closed loop partners in the US who are doing great work, but they invest globally. Circularity Capital invests in early stage companies here in Europe. But what does that mean locally? It's all great to say this is what's happening, around the world. But what's it mean locally? Well, we actually have quite a lot of innovation and technology happening in the Southwest, and there's some interesting companies like Nutrimara and many others. We also have industry and agri-food, industry as well. So for example, like Kerry Group and Carberry Group and many others who might have an agricultural or more traditional base, but are very much interested in that diversification opportunity and are exploring these options. And what's really interesting about the fact we have this traditional base, it means we also have an abundance of that renewable feedstock that can then be used and processed and biorefined into really interesting products for that growing market we just described. And that abundance of feedstock might be seaweed or agricultural waste, municipal and even food waste. We also have the Munster Technological University Network. And so there's a research group dedicated to this, which I'll talk about in a minute. But there's also the Cork Clean Technology Centre, there's the enterprise centres and the technology gateways, who I mentioned here, who are all very supportive and really helping companies in the bioeconomy with their market proposition. And I should also say there's an Irish network too, dedicated for the bioeconomy, and it's made up of research centres and made up of other types of clusters, but we're the only one that's focused on the Southwest. And we very much engage with the national networks to make sure whatever we're doing, we're able to do it here as well. So here's a bit of a snapshot of the projects that are happening at Munster Technological University. And so they range across, from working with producers like farmers and also fishermen, all the way up to the processing of these types of feedstocks into new products that reach then consumers and also reach brands. And so these are a number of European and Irish projects, and I'm more than happy to go into details if you're interested in learning more after the presentation. But they work with the agricultural sectors, marine sectors, as well as food and drink as well. So really interesting array of projects at MTU. There's a team, they're called the Circular Bioeconomy Research Group. There's 12 staff working there, and they're always looking to engage, learn from enterprises, primary producers and the processors who are interested in this space and how they can help them. As a result of all the projects at MTU, we have a really broad network across Europe. And this is really good when you're thinking of your market proposition and when you're thinking of enterprise growth. So for example, if you were looking to access services in another country, we have access to other clusters, universities, industry associations, maybe agriculture, packaging, whatever it might be, enterprises as well, and also regions. So we're all working and collaborating together on Horizon 2020 projects, the big projects and many others, to accelerate the development of this new value chain across many sectors. So what are the services available at MTU that might be able to help your business proposition in your early stage ideation, or even if you're in later stage? So there's a lot of expertise at MTU, whether it's from the Circular Bioeconomy Research Group, whether it's through the technology gateways like Shannon ABC, who focus on biotech, or maybe IMAR, who focus on digitalization of the sector as well, of many sectors. And there's also enterprise centers like the Rubicon and Tom Green Business Center who can support as well. And so when you put all these supports together, it looks like research and development, there's expertise in biorefinery processing if you're looking for that, new product development, market research, technology validation, access to networks, marketing and promotion, skills development. There is also courses on the bioeconomy at MTU as well if you're interested in learning more, and also commercialization and go-to-market strategies. So we do have a lot of expertise, and we're always happy to help enterprises and people who are thinking about building an enterprise, or if it's an industry looking to diversify, we're happy to help. Now, seeing as the cluster is in the early stages, and what I've just highlighted is the services available at MTU, I'm also building out the strategy for the programs I'll be working on for the next, 2.5 years. So if you're interested in getting involved in the cluster, let me know and, get in touch. And I'd be more than happy to have a call, and I can let you know if you'd be interested in the working groups and other types of activities we'll be doing over the coming months. So thank you so much for your time. Here is my contact details, and I'm more than happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much, Caitriona. We'll leave the questions till the end of the 3 presentations, but thank you. You're well within your time limit, which is brilliant. Thank you very much.